hope you have a box of tissues handy. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down one of our highest ranked topics on the suggestions page, the top 10 saddest deaths in video games. First off, we're restricting our choices to one entry per franchise. And not only does the character have to die, but they have to stay dead for the rest of the game. Though, this rule won't apply if they get revived in any of the sequels. Also, we're excluding characters who sacrificed themselves to save others, since we already have a list for that. Check out our top 10 heroic sacrifices in video games for those guys. And finally, this should go without saying, but we can't stress this enough, spoiler alert. Number 10, Roman Bellic or Kate McReaney, Grand Theft Auto 4. We're gonna start things off with our favorite cousin who always wanted to go bowling.
Cousin, I am loving the bowling. Pick me up in next hour.
In the final act of GTA 4, Nico is given a choice to do a deal with the man who betrayed him or to kill him. If Nico does the deal, an assassin sneaks up and kills Roman on his wedding day. But if Nico kills Dimitri, it will instead be his love interest Kate who bites the bullet. Either way, these scenes are tough to handle.
You told me to leave it. I left it.
Nico, get up, man.
Number 9, Thane Krios, Mass Effect 3. Tali was also a contender for this list, but her death is optional, whereas Thane is destined to die. After thwarting an assassination attempt on a Solarian counselor, Thane ends up meeting the edge of Kai Lang's blade, which leaves him on his deathbed in the hospital.
Kalahira, mistress of inscrutable depths, I ask forgiveness.
Even more emotional is the funeral you're treated to in the Citadel DLC.
The counselor knew him as a hero. The Normandy's crew knew him as a brother in arms. And others as a father devoted to his son.
And finally, if you romanced him in Mass Effect 2, you're treated to this beautiful farewell.
I wish you could have been here with me.
I am always with you, Siha. I would not trade the time I had with you for anything. It was a good fight.
A great fight.
Number 8, Agro, Shadow of the Colossus. Just as tragic as when a speaking character dies is when you lose a loyal animal companion. In Shadow of the Colossus, that ends up being your horse, Agro. En route to the final Colossus, everything seems to be business as usual, when all of a sudden you come across a crumbling bridge and a sudden shock is thrown right in your face.
Agro!
Number 7, Soap McTavish, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We had a three-way decision for the Call of Duty entry, between Jackson getting nuked and Ghost and Roach's sudden assassination.
No!
Ultimately though, Soap took this spot, though only just. After a plan to capture Makarov goes horribly wrong, you end up dragging a wounded Soap through a blazing gun battle, only for him to die of his wounds, with Captain Price breaking down at the loss.
Oh no! Soap! No! Soap! You have to go now! Get off me!
Boy, he's pissed.
Soap trusted you. I thought I could too. So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
Number 6, the Auditore family, Assassin's Creed 2.
Giovanni Auditore, you and your accomplices stand accused of the crime of treason.
A good way to get you emotionally invested in a game is to have a shocking death take place in the very first act. After Alberti betrays their family, Ezio's father and 2 brothers are executed before his very eyes.
You are the traitor, Roberto, and one of them. You may take our lives this day, but we will have yours in return, I swear! We will! Father!
While he himself is unable to help and forced to flee, deemed as a criminal and a traitor.
I'll kill you for what you've done! Guards! Arrest him!
Number 5. Maria Santiago, Gears of War 2. The harsh reality of the Locust War takes its toll on most of humanity, but for the Santiagos, it was especially brutal.
You are pissed today.
Damn right. I missed my family. I'll kill every one of these bastards.
After losing their children on Emergence Day, Maria is captured by the Locust Horde and put through processing. After much fighting, Dom finally finds his wife, but his reunion is short-lived, as the effects of the Locust processing have taken their toll.
I'm so sorry, Maria. I tried to find you. God, I did. I love you so much.
Number 4. Sarah, The Last of Us. The Last of Us has many deaths worth noting.
Sam.
Henry?
But the most memorable and emotional is the one that happens right at the very beginning. Even though we may have known this was coming, because you don't see any blonde girl on the box, the direction, build-up, and Troy Baker's amazing performance makes this moment of a young girl dying in her father's arms incredibly heart-wrenching.
Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No.
Number 3. Cortana, Halo 4. The iconic Blue Vixen, who's been with the series right from the start, meets an emotional end in the 4th installment.
I will not allow you to leave this planet!
Throughout the game, it's hinted that her time is coming to an end, with her programming literally driving her to madness. Using her damaged components to restrain the main villain, we're then treated to this emotional scene.
John. I've waited so long to do that.
She misses out on the higher spots, since it's not 100% confirmed that she's really dead.
Wait.
Welcome home, John.
Number 2. Lee Everett, The Walking Dead. Our highest voted entry on the suggestions page is the final tough choice of the first season of this point-and-click masterpiece. After being bitten, Lee's fate is sealed, and it's only a matter of time before he turns into a walker.
No, that's not... No!
Yes, Clem, it is.
In the final moments of Chapter 5, you end up making a heartbreaking decision. Do you tell young Clementine to shoot the only person she has left, or do you tell her to handcuff you to a radiator and leave you to turn? Either way, both of these scenes had one of our staff members crying his eyes out.
I don't want you to get used to it. It's like with Larry, honey. He was going one way or another, but at that moment I couldn't do more violence. You have to be careful about that. It'll consume you.
Before we get to our top spot, let's see who else had us weeping onto our controllers. Number 1. Eris, Final Fantasy VII. This one's a no-brainer. The iconic scene of the flower girl getting murdered by Sephiroth takes the top spot for multiple reasons. Not only is her death the most memorable scene from the 7th game, and one of the most emotional moments in the entire franchise, but to this day, there are still fans that can't accept that Eris is truly dead, and still hold out hope that there will be a method in the game to bring her back. With so many tear-jerking moments in video games, it's impossible to cover them all. Again, be sure to check out our top 10 heroic sacrifices if you are looking for characters like John Marston or Dominic Santiago. And for more emotional top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Then go and finish it. And when you go to the sea, I will be waiting for you at the shore.